What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I'm your host, Jimmy Smith, and, well, I'm still dealing with a little bit of COVID here. So, came over to good old Rituals. You can hear the vehicles driving by, stuff, but trying to steam up, trying to breathe a little bit. Wanted to put this video out yesterday when some of these moves were happening, but then a couple more moves happened, and then all kinds of moves are happening, and all kinds of news is flying our way. So I thought, let's just make one big old update here, right? So we're going to talk about all of the new players here. I got some of the bio and stats stuff that you guys like for the new players. Britton Covey, I didn't make one for, but he's back. And Trevor Keegan went to the Cowboys. We made a video talking about Parsons getting traded to the Packers. Hilarious. Go check that out. There was a lot going on here last couple of days, of course, and I'm just beaten to a pulp. But we're going to push through. We're going to talk some birds here. So I appreciate you all taking the time, hitting the like button, sharing, subscribing, everything you do to support the channel. I cannot thank you enough. But let's get into this. We're going to talk about some news. Then we're going to talk about some of the new players and then take a look at the updated depth chart and practice squad so you know what this team looks like right now, because a lot of confusion out there. Now, one of the things that Jordan Schultz reported that the Eagles had signed Audric Estime, and they did not. So he was in for a visit today with Cornelius Johnson and Ambry Thomas. Ambry Thomas actually got signed, but no signing for Estime as I'm making this video. So not sure that's going to happen. But just so you guys know, a lot of people confused it was what's going on. That was just misreported. And then I know some of you guys get pretty worked up about these numbers here. So here's an update for all of the players about numbers. Maybe some of this can make you happy. Maybe it makes you even more angry. I'm not sure, but those are the numbers that these players will be wearing. The new players, the practice squad players, whatever, all the players that were added. You can see them in alphabetical order there. Now, let's get into some of these players. So yesterday, we waived Trevor Keegan and we get a center, and then we bring in the long snapper, Charlie Hewlett, and get rid of Tristan McCollum. And whatever way that all happened, it happened somehow where we lost Keegan, who now went to the Cowboys, and Tristan McCollum now with the Raiders, which I would rather have Tristan McCollum there than Marcus Epps, in my opinion. But I like Marcus Epps. I'm a fan of him. He has some veteran leadership, I guess, and starting experience. But Tristan McCollum is a versatile defensive back that I'm a big fan of. So I don't know. That was an interesting call there, but a lot of people were pissed. We didn't have a long snapper. Look, dude, we weren't going to go into a game without a long snapper. Like, Howie knows what he's doing. We always laugh about this stuff, but one of the things Howie did was, sorry, that's Chelsea. I keep looking over, but it's up there, Hamtown. So one of the things that Howie did was claim, you know how guys get waived and they have to go through the waiver process. We claimed Willie Lampkin, who is a very intriguing little piece and somebody we talked about, a versatile, reminds you kind of Jason Kelsey, undersized, athletic, Cam Jurgens type player. Well, the Rams ended up signing him this offseason. He was undrafted out of North Carolina, spent 3 years at Coastal Carolina before the 2 years at North Carolina, where he finished up with the Rams for a little bit there. Again, waived with that injury designation, but I see their fans are furious. Apparently, this kid was balling out in preseason, didn't allow any sacks, was doing the same in college. You see 0 sacks and 473 pass blocks, 4 pressures allowed in the 12 games he played there, 85.6 PFF grade. But yeah, man, dude is very athletic, very intriguing to watch here that, of this mold. Now, he can play a little bit of guard too. Not sure that's what he's going to do here. But he brings in some intriguing depth, and hopefully, he can be healthy soon, and we'll see what happens. But I'm excited for him, and I think a great move by Howie, adding, someone like this to the roster that I think down the road, you never know. Trade candidate, starting candidate, always good to have these athletic pieces. But clearly, some issues there that allow him to drop. But I think overall, when you're just claiming a guy, no brainer. And if he doesn't work out, sayonara. But a good pickup there. And then another offensive lineman that we added today. Now so it doesn't look like Lake and Vakahali is going to get another shot here. So Luke Felix Vualalo, who is on that international player program, undrafted this year out of Hawaii, spent 3 years there, and before that, 3 years at Utah. He's from Brisbane, Australia, and moved here to California, went to high school there. So I don't really, it's weird, like, oh, he's an international player. Well, he's been here for a long time, but whatever. So the Seahawks is the team he ended up with this offseason. 6'7", 310 pounds. Like, that is a large man. But he played, I couldn't find much in the stat department. I saw he had like 4 starts last year in the 8 games, a little injury maybe, but only one sack. Maybe I'm hungry. 491 pass block snaps. So, look, 2 intriguing pieces here. And now, Felix Fualalo there is not going to count against the practice squad. So we can have 17 players. He is that one that just doesn't count because you can have 16 on your practice squad. He'll be that 17th guy. So, no doubt, adding a giant and, Jeff Stoutland, he can work magic. So we'll see if he's able to do that with Luke there. Now, bringing back a familiar face. Last night, I was super sick, so I passed out early. I woke up, posted this news for you guys. But former Eagle, Marcus Epps, back in business, going into his 7th season here, 29 years old. And last year, only played in 3 games with 3 starts due to injury, 19 tackles, 2 tackles for loss. So somebody was saying, 46.9 PFF grade. Yeah, man, he was hurt. So kind of skewed. Take it all with a grain of salt. So let's look at the last time he actually played a season. And, that's in 2023 where he had 65.4 grade, which is good. 17 games where he started all of them, 66 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, a forced fumble and recovery, and then 3 passes deflected. Look, it's a veteran who, I, again, think that if somebody, God forbid, something happens, he can help you as a starter. But again, for me, I'm keeping Tristan McCollum. That's a guy that can play a little bit of cornerback. You don't really want him to, but a versatile defensive back. And that's what we like in this Vic Fangio defense. But Marcus Epps, he provides you that, again, veteran starting experience, even though McCollum started as well before too. Whatever, man. This is the route they wanted to go, bringing back Marcus Epps. And I'm a fan of Epps. Again, not starting, though, as a depth piece. So, hopefully, Sidney Brown, or Drew Makuba. I'm sorry, man. I'm really running on fumes here. But, okay, cool. But he's on the practice squad, so no doubt. Now, another addition to the practice squad was Ambry Thomas, who I just talked about, being in for a visit today, but he was the one that actually got signed. So this will be his 4th year out of Michigan. Now, he missed the entire year last year, ACL injury, I believe it was. So that doesn't count. It would be his 5th season. But anyways, out of Michigan, 25 years old, still very young, 71.5 PFF grade in 2023, 4.41 speed, a 3rd-round pick in 21 by the Niners. And then the Colts took him, but then he failed at a physical and then went to the Vikings, but didn't make it there. It's weird stuff. But the kid's got talent. Started 6 games in 2023, 15 of those played, 1 interception, 7 passes deflected, 43 tackles, and a forced fumble with the recovery there. So this is a kid that's got talent. We talked about him years ago where, hey, look, man, these athletic guys, always a possibility. And this is somebody, again, added to the practice squad. So 3 of those guys are on the practice squad. Lampkin had to go to the active roster because of it being, a claim. But Ambry Thomas is somebody that I think, fun to watch. I didn't like him at Michigan because I don't like Michigan, but he's a talented player. So adding 2 pieces of the secondary, 2 pieces of the offensive line. Let's take a look at this updated practice squad and depth chart. Now, no corresponding move was announced yet. So I just put everybody on here. You've got 18 players here. Obviously, that's not going to happen. One person has to go. Again, Luke Felix Fualalo there. He is going to be exempt. He's international player program. So one of these people has to go. You can let me know who you would let go of, or maybe there's somebody else you would add, but you see Covey back on the team, brought in as the returner. We'll talk about that in a second. But, I'm really excited about it. So let's effing go. Now, looking at the updated depth chart here, remember, we got rid of Trevor Keegan here. So I put Drew Kendall at guard because he can play guard and center. Well, he played center in college. We've been trying him with guard. Willie Lampkin, I just tossed him there at center. I'll move this stuff around as I see fit with things going down here. But you got guys like Kendall, Lampkin, Toth, who all can play center. Love that. Pryor can play tackle and guard. You got Fred Johnson, who can play both tackle spots. You got Cameron Williams here, the young guy you can develop. So I like it, man. You got depth there. And other than that, nothing else changed. You see the quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, all that great stuff we talked about the other day. Anything you want to add, please feel free. But that's the updated look at the offense. And then the defense, getting rid of Tristan McCollum. Obviously, that leaves you with 3 safeties here. So, again, you can elevate these 2 players each game. So if the Eagles need another safety or feel they need something else, they can do that. So, still a week away, from the first game of the season. So let's just, calm our britches a little bit here. But the defense still very exciting for me to think about the fact that we get another year with these players learning this defense. I think things are going to be pretty fun to watch here. But let's get to the special teams now. So I have Covey in there in parentheses, as you can see, because that's the reason he was signed to the practice squad. So he'll be our punt returner. Will Shipley, Dylan, Williams, somebody's going to be the kick returner. Covey could probably do that too with the new rules of kick returner. But Hewlett was brought back, as we talked about, so you got a long snapper there. You can sleep easy. But Cooper DeJean not being the punt returner is key here. So let's just not have that happen. I'd rather see Dotson, Covey, whoever, anybody else on the practice squad. Let's just not have Cooper DeJean back there. That'd be great. Thank you. But finishing off is the injury list here. Nakobe Dean on the PUP list. Then you've got Seen, who will get released off of it. And then Hinton, who is designated to return. So we'll see in the next few weeks. And then Johnny Wilson out for the season. But that's it. Now, I'll just make a post about whoever gets released from the practice squad. If any other moves or anything crazy is happening in that time or whatever, I'll try my best. But I'm going to try to go to work tomorrow. Tough it out like a moron. But most of them don't believe that, COVID or sicknesses are real anyway. So, hey, I'm not real. I'm just a figment of your imagination. We'll see how that works out for them. But look, ladies and gentlemen, I love each and every one of you, and I hope you all have yourselves a great night. These were all the additions and everything. If you have any questions, any comments, anything you want to add, I'm sorry this was so short and just so chaotic. My brain is not working, but I'm trying. And I'm trying to contain my excitement for, 7 days away. Philadelphia Eagles defending Super Bowl champions. I mean, 1 week? Are we really talking about 1 week away that we get to beat the living hell out of the Cowboys without Micah Parsons? Whew. Can't wait for that. So let's effing go. Bring the excitement for me. Give me some good comments. Let's get the juju up. I'm sorry I can't bring you I'm trying my best. But if I missed anything, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on anymore. I'll be back with any updates tomorrow. Fan Friday. Let's effing go. Hope to see you then. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Share this bad boy. Subscribe down below. There's a hype button there as well now. Hype it up if you want. Appreciate you helping get the good word out there. Stopping all this negativity and misinformation is the name of the game here. Appreciate all of your help doing that. But all I've got for you here tonight, if you need anything, you can always reach out to me. Whatever's going on in life, you need a friend. Always here for you guys as you are for me. But that's it. So until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all stay safe out there, and as always, go Birds!